All right, so let's get into scam number one. Scam number one is trading bots and dollar cost average bots. So let me explain why this is a scam by giving you a couple real life examples that I've actually been sent by a friend of mine asking me if I would like to get my mastermind involved. So my mastermind, I hope you guys, if you're this far in the course, you already have seen several mentions of it. You know what it is. My mastermind, I find opportunities to make money, right? That's like what I try to do. And I get offered a lot of shit, right? Because my mastermind has a lot of capital that people want to invest. I get offered like so many things. Like you could offer them this, you could put them into this. And I have to say no to like most of it because it's all fucking scams. And I just can't imagine, imagine running a group not knowing that all this stuff was a scam. And that's the unfortunate reality for a friend of mine here. He messaged me, so he said, "Hey, I'm thinking of partnering." And by the way, there's nothing wrong with the fact that he didn't know this. Everyone, is at different stages of their learning. But look, he said, "I'm thinking of partnering with one of my fund managers and having this trading bot that they have, run as a service. I think your group would probably like it. They make 10-15% a month, and you get 3 month lock, and the third month they get the yield." Yeah, so he said, "I can raise if you raise money from the mastermind, we'll give you a finder's fee to get the capital. You can test it out to make sure you're comfortable and even want to get involved." And then I said to him, like, "How are you estimating your returns?" Well, the bot runs, he was saying some shit. And then I basically just said trading bots are scams. None of them are legit, so I would never recommend them to my audience. And he then tried to do something like, yeah, the AI trading bots as it is, like all the banks use AI trading bots and all this shit. And then I basically had to explain to him why it's a scam. And so I'm going to, instead of me explaining it, let past me explain it.
I'll give you my explanation on why trading bots are scams. And I mean, there might be some that are good, like 0.1% of all bots might be good, but I really believe that it's such a sketchy space, and the incentive alignment for trading bots just it doesn't really make sense. So let me explain it like this: if you go to a bank, you can borrow money for 5%, right? 5% every year. If you borrow money from people who are investing in your bot, you're going to have to pay them out a significant percent of profits. And just in the finder's fee alone, you are giving me more than what you could get from a bank. So if you want to raise, let's say, like 500k, which is more than enough considering considering the liquidity of markets, right? You lose 7%. So you instantly lose more than you could just go to a bank and get in terms of interest. And on top of that, you have to pay up for any profits that you make. So why would you raise money from randoms on the internet, give them more money when you could just go to a bank and take a loan? Well, the reason is that the bot outsources the risk to the investors. So you make money when the bot makes money, and the investor loses when the bot loses. So the incentive alignment is not to make the bot make money for the user. The incentive is for the bot to make money, and it doesn't matter if it eventually loses, because at the end of the day, if the bot makes money, you take a percent. So let's say in month one you make 20%. Month two you lose 50%. You still profit because you took your percent of the profits, and then the losses are realized by the investor. So this is why people do trading bots. It's because they outsource the risk to the investor. Because if you borrow money from a bank, you have to pay it back. If you borrow money from people investing, you pay nothing back. And so, obviously, it's a really good idea to get people's money for a trading bot to try to make profits in the short term. Because even if there's downside, it doesn't matter. Because it's risky. We could lose money. We'll make money next month. Blah blah. Like you have no downside risk and all the upside. So from an investor standpoint, it doesn't make any sense because you can lose all your money, and you want to make all the profit. So you take all the risk as an investor, and you only make a percent of the upside. What's the point? Because with trading bots as well, the market is constantly changing, and it is only one trade that needs to go wrong that will liquidate the entire portfolio. Right? Like trading bots, they look good in back tests, they work well for 99% of the time, but it's that 1% of the time where things go wrong, they get liquidated, an error occurs, and all the money's lost. Right? And that happens for every single bot trading service I've ever seen. Every single bot that I've seen launched went well at the start. Everyone's like, yeah, I made 10% last month. And then they go quiet. It's never mentioned again. I'm always like, why do they never mention it again? Well, it's because they got fucking robbed. Because all trading bots suffer from the same issue. It's like walking through Vietnam trying not to step on a landmine. Vietnam's a big place. You probably won't step on a landmine. But eventually, if you walk around long enough, you're going to step on one. And it's the same for these trading bots. The goal of the systems, the AI, the humans, is to mitigate against that 0.1% scenario of the account losing everything. But that is an inevitable path that ends up happening for these trading bots. So yeah, maybe you can get in, you can invest for 4 months, 5 months. Hopefully you don't get rugged and you can pull your money out and take out your initial investment and you're just running with the profits. But it's just so risky. And I think there's better uses of capital. I think most people who launch these trading bots understand that they do this because they're not good traders. They do this because they have a bit of a loophole where they have zero downside risk and all the upside. And yeah, because of that, I don't trust people who launch trading bots. I think it's just a method of scamming money out of retail. And because if you were good at trading, you would just trade with your own capital, right? If you're a good trader, you can just borrow, you can just use your own capital, or you can go to a bank and borrow money. You do not need retail's money to lose it all. So yeah, I won't be promoting any trading bots. I appreciate the message, but I think it's a scam.
Hey Dan, just wanted to actually ask your opinion on a couple of things.
And then I think I sent one more voice message. No, I didn't. So I hope you can understand what I was explaining there. Basically, when you invest in trading bots, you take all of the risk, and the bots take none of the risk. If they lose all your money, like all the other bots in human history have that are offered to retail, you can't really do anything, because they said before you joined, if we lose all your money, you can't say anything. So legally, there's no fucking repercussions. And so what a bunch of people do is they make these businesses, they make it seem like, wow, we've got this fancy trading bot. They start using words like AI because AI is trending, and they scam people for this AI shit. And then all these new people deposit money, and they get wrecked. And for 4 months out of 5 that the bot was running, it made 20%. The AI trading bot people took 5% of that, so they took 5% of the 20%, right? So they come out with millions in profit, and then the 1 month that they lose everything, they don't have to pay back the profits from the prior month. So they keep the profit from month 1, 2, 3, 4, and then they have none of the downside when they lose. And now obviously the business probably has to shut down once they lose, but they come out in the end in profit. And you, the guy who invested, you probably didn't take out your money because you get greedy and you end up losing everything. So that's why you need to avoid it. And this guy, he sent me another scam. He sent me another one. Now, this one is a confidential document, which means I can't open it and show you it, but I can show you a screenshot of a couple sections of it, I think. But basically, he said, yields 30% in 45 days. And he was like, it's a pre-sale, right? A pre-sale for a mining AI scam. And a pre-sale for a mining AI scam. And let me show you what I can show you. This is basically how it works, right? They trade Bitcoin, gold, and commodities. They buy at low prices and they sell at higher prices. And the profits are passed to the people who put money into the fund, right? And they're aiming for 4% daily profit, which is fucking ridiculous. That's insane returns. And you basically deposit money and they pay you back. Why is it a scam? Why would they take your money over someone else's? It's because there's no risk. If they lose everything, you take all the risk. If they make money, they take a portion of the upside. Also, say anyone who tells you 4% daily yield is a fucking scammer. That's not possible. Like, aiming for daily returns is just stupid. It's just not possible. Because the only people who would ever possibly be able to consistently yield 4% daily returns are the most smartest teams in the world who have the most advanced algorithms and software and decades of experience. But keep in mind, right, the biggest funds in the world struggle to return 10% a year to their investors, right? What is the annual return? Let's type it in. Annual return of, I don't know, does George Soros have a fund? Let's have a look at the performance history of the George Soros fund. So it looks like it's negative. He's lost money. So one of the most famous portfolio managers, one of the best portfolio managers in the world, who has access to the smartest people on the planet, who can design the most advanced systems for investing, is at a loss. Now, I don't know how accurate this is, but this is the concept I'm trying to explain. The best fund managers can't make 4% daily gains and get in contact with any person who's been investing for 4 to 5 decades, right? In my voice message that I sent to him, I want you to listen. I want you to listen to this one as well.
I've been sent this pitch this 100 times, and I've had to answer this question 100 times, and I'm going to answer it again the same way I've always answered it. So pretty much all this trading yield shit is a scam, because the way it works is that money is everywhere. Money is literally everywhere. It's not hard to raise money, right? I could raise 10 million tomorrow. It's not hard to get money, okay? So because it's not hard to get money, everyone has money that they want to give you. you have to ask yourself the question, if it's really easy to get risk-free money, why would I ever trade my own money, right? If I'm a trader, and I have the choice between trading my money, which I could lose money on, or trading someone else's money, which I lose nothing on, I would always choose trade someone else's money, which I lose nothing if I lose it on, right? Because you basically get risk-free money. So what I would do is I would be like, okay, there's a 40% chance that in 12 months my trading strategy makes me money. So that's a 40% chance that I end up making millions. Or there's a 60% chance I lose everything, but I actually lose nothing because it's other people's money. And they invested understanding the risks. So to me, 40% chance I make millions, 60% chance I lose nothing. Oh, that's a pretty good deal. I would take that. And so all these people, they make these like trading scam things to raise money. And yeah, like 9 out of 10 months, maybe the bot makes money. But every single time, it's that 1 month out of 10 where the thing blows up and it loses everything, right? And there was a friend of mine 4 months ago. He invested into one of these trading things, and it went really well. And I told him, just so you know, mate, like this thing's going well, but it's the 1 month out of 10 where it dies. And you know what happened? 2 months later, the whole thing collapsed. And I told him, bro, like you should have listened to me. And he actually did get out. He said I got out, luckily, and he made some money on it. Now he got very lucky. He managed to beat the system, right? 9 months, you win. 1 month, you lose everything. He got out before that one losing month, so he actually did, well. But he did well because he listened and he got out, and he understood that the whole thing was a scam. Now, if you're saying, hey Daniel, let's put your money into this thing, which 1 out of 10 months will blow up, understanding that it's going to blow up eventually, and that the 30% profit every month is not guaranteed. If you're telling me with those risks understood, then that's totally fine. I appreciate that. But I have a guess that you're naive to how these things actually work, and you believe that you can actually make 2% a day, and someone will take your money and give you that return, and you can just make that money, and there's just no problems, and it's just easy. Like, no, it doesn't happen because money is everywhere. Why would they take your money and not someone else's if it's that easy, right? They take your money and not someone else's because it's risk-free money and they know it's just not going to work out. Only dummies would invest their money into this stuff. Only naive people would be willing to take this risk because the naive people don't understand the underlying risks associated. Bro, this is the only way. This is the truth. This is the real world. People aren't in the real world. They're in fairyland. They think that their money out of 8 billion people actually means anything. But think about it. If people spend so much money to try to make 10% a year, and this guy's going to give you 30% a month. Do you know how many millionaires around the world would take 30% a month? Every single millionaire on the planet would say yes to 30% a month. So if every millionaire would say yes, why is your millions better than some other dude who actually has money, who might be able to provide value outside of money? It's just total naivety. It's actually a level of, what would I even call that? Just complete naivety, but it's more than that. It's ego. It's just ego. People have ego. They think their money's worth something. You think you're valuable. Bro, like, there's so many people who would do so many things for that money, for that return.
Hey, bud, I actually have a...
Cool, so you get the point, right? Basically, to summarize, if a bot makes 20% a month, there is $5 trillion in the world which would love to make that money, if not more. And so why would your $10,000 mean anything if there's $5 trillion in the hands of people who are able to provide 100 times more value to you outside of money to these mining companies, these trading companies? Why would your money be worth something to them? And the reason that you haven't considered this is everyone has an ego. They think that they're special. They think that they are this special little human who can put $10,000 into a trading bot, and that they're so special that they're able to make money way more than any other person on the planet, way more than any other smart investor. And they think that they can just live in airy fairyland. I'm so special. I have such a big ego. My money's so important. It's more important than any other millionaire's money. Just ego, straight up naivety, stupidity, just total, just dumbass. So yeah, this is what you guys need to realize. It's a scam. You want to avoid this stuff. Now, I'm not saying you need to completely avoid it. If you would like to put your money into scams, go for it. But just understand the underlying risks associated and make sure you get out before the thing collapses, okay? So yeah, that's scam number 1. We'll get into the next scam in the next video. Cheers.